Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the sacred timeline of the comic book YouTube universe. This sacred timeline has spanned over many years, and I'm going to show you all the events and occurrences that have led us to the timeline we are at now. Now, this timeline is anchored by a specific individual who we will refer to as the anchor being, which will be revealed later in the timeline. But it is my honor and my duty to show you guys exactly the events that transpired that got us to where we are at now. So, in the beginning, there was the Golden Age. There was no drama, it was just comic books. We will refer to this time period as BSG, before Sticky Goose. So, before Sticky Goose, things were good. Like, there was just comic books, there was no drama, and Jim Mint was still fat. Jim Mint was working as a telemarketer. Manimal might have even been there. This was a golden era of comic book YouTube. Also, many other comic book YouTube channels began to form, but no one as important as the MJ Comics channel. This is before there was just a J Comics channel. There was also an M that you didn't know about. In that MJ Comics channel, we were beginning to see something incredibly important that would lead us to where we are now in the timeline. The next occurrence that happened was a spark. So what happened during the spark? Well, Sticky Goose found his dad's comic book collection. And what this means is we have a new entity that occurred into the timeline that would forever change the landscape of comic book YouTube as we know it. At this time, little to Sticky Goose's knowledge, there was a major influx of people into the comic book community. This time period, it was like no other time period before. Major money was being spent due to our friend and mine, Dr. Fauci, making us wear diapers on our face and giving us all of that money. So with those government checks, we were able to put money into this hobby. And what happened was the sticker people were born. As I was saying, so many new YouTube channels were coming in 2020. In the beginnings of the sticker people, the very embers of the sticker people were beginning to flicker. After this time period, we then hit into the dark days. And the dark days are really marked by the influx of whatnot influencers. Your friend and mine, Jim Mint, signed a massive fat check stack deal with whatnot, getting paid bukus of money so that he could get an iced out chain in peace. Also in this dark times, your friend and mine, Sticky Goose, also learned of CGC, which would lead to him overpaying and spending thousands of dollars that he shouldn't have, leading to more CGC unboxings that nobody gave a shit about. Another event that occurred was the C2E2 fiasco. In this C2E2 fiasco, the acetate gate was born. Clayton Crane was getting hella chicks, and people were getting pushed out of line, people were skipping line, and many of our famous influencers came to power. Also, during these dark times, Sticky Goose ventures to the great city of Roanoke, Virginia, where he is kicked out of 2 comic book shops in 1 hour. Little did he know that this would affect the timeline so greatly. After the C2E2 fiasco, the drama age was born. Comic book channels realized that viewers didn't necessarily want to watch as many unboxings or a bunch of ramblings by a middle-aged man talking about how much he loves these funny books. They wanted drama. Their appetite couldn't be satiated. Videos, specifically Whatnot Resellers Exposed, the Peach Momoko fiasco, and Whatnot Cannibalism. All of these videos began to surface, and nothing was ever the same. Everything is now different. The game has changed forever, possibly for the worse. We've totally gotten away from that golden age now, and we are now catching up to the modern age. The next major events that transpired would fundamentally change everything. So the CGC message boards explode with not only the drama of the C2E2 fiasco, but specifically Sticky Goose's rise to power. So during the rise to power of Sticky Goose, CGC begins to troll and hate on him. What this has led to is that Jim Mint, your friend and mine, Jim Mint becomes aware to Sticky Goose's presence. So once he's aware of this presence, He then determines that Sticky Goose is a douche, which many other still hold this same opinion. But one beacon of light shines through, and that is Comic Journey, aka CJ. So Comic Journey reaches out, he extends his hand out to a young Sticky Goose and says, "Come follow me." Now, not knowing what he was dealing with, a young Sticky Goose brazenly goes on to CJ Comic Book Journey's channel. And what Sticky Goose learns is Comic Journey's hatred of stickers. Now, this crucial bit of information will come into play later. Also during this timeline, we see the rise of Mother Goose. Sticky Goose's rabid fan base, mostly consisting of haters, want more Mother Goose, and they demand more Mother Goose. Mother Goose basically shows herself as not only this hot piece of ass we all know and love, but also kind of entertaining and funny, and knows a lot about comic book YouTube. But not so fast. This is when the rat is born, the man rat. The man rat then exposes himself, not literally, but metaphorically, on Sticky Goose's YouTube channel, basically talking mad shit and basically trying to fight Sticky Goose with positivity at heroescon. This leads Sticky Goose into a dark path. In that dark path, Sticky Goose decides that he wants to quit YouTube. He's over it. He's done with it. He wanted to go to heroescon with his dad who's never gone to a Comic-Con in his life. And the thought of the decisions that Sticky Goose has made, the path of drama that he's chosen, would cause Sticky Goose and his father to never have this bonding moment at heroescon 2024, shook Sticky Goose to his core. The man rat was winning with his troll comments. But another beacon of light shines through in the darkness, and that beacon of light is the J of MJ Comics. James, with his frosted tips, reaches into Sticky Goose's Instagram DMs and says, "You can't quit now, mate. You're not going to be able to spill the tea." MJ Comics, running out of crumpets and tea, decides to reach out to Sticky Goose saying, "Get back on his high horse and keep talking about comic books." So Sticky Goose returns with a fiery passion. He lets the beacon out, and he makes the video about positivity in comics, basically revealing the duplicitous nature of positivity in comics and its hypocrisy. Many events also transpire. The turning away of Sticky Goose from CGC and his welcoming of his new sponsor, Comic Book Capsules, to the channel. A major event occurs next, which we will call the Rift. Sticky Goose and Mother Goose decide to do something that will forever change comic book YouTube as we know it. They decide to roast the entire comic book community. Now, as a lighthearted, fun, joking video that it was, certain man rats, specifically the one rat that was trying to prevent Sticky Goose and his father from going to heroescon, emerges and gets behind his keyboard and using his keyboard fingers. The man rat then decides that he will strike down Sticky Goose Comics with what will later be known as one of the most pivotal parts of the comic book YouTube timeline, the sacred timeline. The video has been taken down from YouTube. This strike occurs around this time period. An explosion ensues. Everything implodes within the comic book community. And what happens then? The sticker people are united, have a united front. They have a common enemy, and that is Sticky Goose. After all of this transpires, we then see the anchor being take hold. The anchor being is MJ Comics, James from MJ Comics. This individual unknowingly saved the comic book YouTube timeline. So what he did was he first had Sticky Goose on his channel. Basically, this set the groundwork to Sticky Goose and MJ Comics becoming friends. What then later transpired was MJ Comics came out in defense of Sticky Goose against the barbaric rat that came out against him, as well as the sticker people. What this later led to was Jim Mint Comics and MJ Comics talking on their channel, becoming fast friends, and discussing the ever-present, like an old dusty turd that Sticky Goose is, basically revealing that Jim Mint was in a free fall. Jim Mint was in a stagnation period where there was never going to be any hope. This dark period has extended up until now. What this later became known as the Great Awakening. Jim Mint, then awoken, saves his YouTube channel, basically coming out in support of Sticky Goose and buying into the drama content that we all now know and love. Jim Mint is basically saved, and give credit where credit is due. Jim Mint credits Sticky Goose with saving the comic book YouTube timeline.
You know what? This guy was a fan of mine. Maybe I won't be too mad at him. So that's why I checked out the video with the roast. And when I saw him and his wife, I was so disappointed in myself, man. Like, damn, man, these people were fucking fans of mine. And now I turned them away because of this shit. And it was a real eye-opener. And I think it was the final straw for me to say, you know what? Even though Whatnot gave you this deal for July, they might re-up in August. Man, fuck that. My people aren't rocking with it. Comic Tom, I love him as a friend, but it's not the best for me right now to continue to work with you. So, like, in a way, man, and this might get clipped, but I think Sticky Goose really saved my channel, man.
Jim Mint would later then go on to Comic Journey's amazing podcast. Comic Journey, the sympathizer that he is to Sticky Goose's front, then reveals that they, too, are fans of Sticky Goose. This incredible event has led us to the modern timeline we are at now, the sacred timeline. So with all of this information, we can quickly deduce that without certain occurrences happening, we would not be on the timeline we are at now. So many crucial plot points that have gotten us to where we are now. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and take care.